The Daily Note Travel Card. The goal of using the Daily Note Travel Card as part of your office procedures is to accelerate the process of gathering and recording a patient's subjective complaints, objective findings, treatment details, changes in a treatment plan, progress with care, and transfer of procedures performed that day to billing. This maximizes the available treatment time the doctor has for a patient and reduces the administrative time from minutes to seconds.
With Document Plus, we have more face-to-face time with the patients instead of my head buried down in paperwork. Our office is a lot faster, and we wouldn't be able to do that without the system.
Implementation of new procedures and practices take time to become comfortable with. Using a few forms will familiarize you with all of the wonderful benefits and features of Document Plus. There may be features that do not fit into your clinic. Feel free to turn on or off these parts of the program. We have provided you with a list of features and benefits in your manual. Document Plus trainers and technical support staff will be happy to assist you in the successful implementation of this system into your clinic. Although this program will be helpful in getting you started, direct questions or assistance to our 800 number or by going to the help section of our website. To start, select the forms that you intend to use. We currently have multiple travel card versions available. These forms are identical except in the following areas: an expanded postural assessment on the DN4 form with treatment options and the ability to customize the software to print on the form, your own objective tests, treatments, subjective complaints, treatment plans, treatment goals, or progress with care. Looking at the DN3 form, listings are located next to individual vertebral levels to record objective findings, treating technique, and vertebral levels adjusted. We suggest reviewing each form with our staff to see how it can apply to your clinic. To fully compare Daily Note Travel Card forms, we will begin with features common to all versions of our Daily Note Travel Card.
We have more of a ready room than we do a waiting room. Because our forms are so much faster, it allows the patient to spend more time with the doctor discussing other health concerns that they may have.
To save the staff data entry time, the system allows you to print specific patient data on the Daily Note Travel Cards. Print information upon the form, place the form into the printer. Each printer is different, and you will have to place the paper so the printed patient information is at the top of the page and the patient's name is in the right spot. Once you have placed the form into the printer tray, go to the main menu of Document Plus software and click on Travel Cards. Next, click on the Clear button to clear all of the auto selection of pending travel cards. Then from here, click on the sample patient you wish to print on the form by double-clicking on the patient or clicking on the Select and seeing a star appear next to the patient name. Click on Print Form. The starred forms will be printed. The system may ask you if the default printer is OK. If it is the right printer, click OK. You can print travel cards from any printer on your network. Your form should be now printing. Look at the form. If the information is not on the right side, or if it is upside down, simply reinsert this sample form back into the printer tray until you get the printing in the right area. Your printer may need to be calibrated to get the printer to print the patient ID number in the right bubbles. For example, if the printing is too high, it should be adjusted down. Or if it's too far left, it can be adjusted to the right. The software allows you to make these adjustments easily and quickly. Once the alignment has been set, you should not have to change it unless you install a new printer. To calibrate your printer, print out a form for a sample patient. If the information is printed in the correct places, no calibration will be necessary. If the printing is off the bubble positions, click on Utilities from the main menu. Click on Calibrate Travel Cards. Our technical support staff will gladly assist you with this at our toll-free number. Now that our setup is complete, we are ready to begin printing travel cards for our patient encounters. First example. How do I print out my appointment schedule for the day? If you would like to have your travel cards printed out prior to the patient's appointment, simply look on your appointment schedule and select the patients that will be coming in for that morning, afternoon, or day. If the day you want is a day different from today, type in the specific date. An example, it's Friday afternoon, and you would like to print out the travel cards for Monday morning's appointments. Just enter Monday's date in the date field. If you know the treating doctor for the appointments, You can print the doctor number on the form by entering it here. Click on Print, and the system will inform you of the number of forms needed in the printer. Then click on OK to print. The travel cards will be printed for that day's encounter. What do I do when the patient walks in without an appointment? Select the patient from the travel card menu and print out the travel card. At the end of each day, for the patient seen that day, can I print up a new travel card for the next visit? Click on Travel Cards. You will see stars by the patients you scanned in the Daily Note travel card forms that day. Deselect the date field. This will remove the date field from printing on the form. Unless you are sure of the treating doctor, also deselect the doctor number. This will leave the doctor number blank on the form. As the patients come in, pull these forms from your travel card file. Date the form and mark the treating doctor. What if the patient walks up and I need a travel card right away? My computer is down or I'm in the middle of printing other things. Give the patient a blank travel card so they can fill in their subjective symptoms. After they return the form and you can print again, place the form into the printer and print the patient information on the form. Once you have selected the ways you want to print the travel cards in your office, it becomes a simple procedure to use daily. Features of the printed travel card. Upon inspection of the printed travel card, you should see the patient name, the patient number, the treating doctor number, the date of the patient visit if it was selected, dates of the previous service from the last 5 scanned travel card forms, the diagnosis from the scanned exam form or reevaluation form, subjective complaints from the previously scanned health questionnaire or daily note, X-ray findings from the most recent previously scanned radiographic form, objective findings from what was marked on the previously scanned travel card. Visit information from the patient's database can include the patient's current visit number in this plan, the patient's visit schedule, and the total visits to the clinic. Total visits to the clinic can be entered in the patient database and will be listed on the next printed travel card for the patient. Past reevaluation dates come from the most recent previously scanned reevaluation form. Past X-ray dates come from the last previously scanned radiographic form. To schedule a future reevaluation date or X-ray date, mark the bubble and fill in the future date. When the form is scanned, a prompt will appear to enter the date and it will appear on the next travel card. Vertebral levels treated with a treating technique are shown from the last scanned travel card. Vertebral levels treated and treating technique can be recorded in today's treatment by marking the technique and the vertebral levels treated. If a secondary technique is used, under today's treatment second section, mark the technique and the levels treated. This will also appear on the travel card. Therapies can be printed on the form from the previous Daily Note travel card by marking the modality, the location of the modality, and how many minutes the modality was applied. If there is nothing printed in a section, that area was not marked on the previous scanned travel card. Now let's see how the travel card flows through the office to gather information for the patient encounter. First, print the travel card out for a patient. Have the patient enter their subjective complaints on the travel card form. This could include the location of the problem, the severity of the problem, the quality of the problem, the intensity, the frequency, and the problem's improvement. You can also record pain diagrams and visual analog scales. If the patient is experiencing an exacerbation of an existing condition or a new injury, then record it here. If more detail of the subjective complaints are required, record them on the form by marking the bubble next to S and writing off to the side. If the patient is unable to enter the complaints themselves, a staff member or the doctor can assist the patient in recording this information. Patients are not in a waiting room. They are in a ready room preparing their health concerns for their doctor's review. Patients who share this information with doctors feel the doctor has a clearer picture of their health at the time of treatment. The doctor can record objective findings and levels treated. Some doctors record this information themselves. Other doctors will have someone assist them in the recording of findings and levels treated. This allows the doctor more patient treatment time. There is also an area to record a change in the patient's diagnosis, the patient's assessment this visit, and how the patient is responding to care. The next printed travel card will include the previous assessment, the visual analog scale, and a percentage of improvement in response to treatment from the previously scanned travel card. The following objective findings can be recorded on the form: leg length deficiency findings from a previous visit, PD leg length can be recorded in the patient's database. Record the diagnosis of subluxation, spasm, tenderness, or inflammation by a specific region. If the tenderness radiates, also mark radiates in addition to marking tenderness. If the tenderness radiates beyond the left lower cervical region and into the left upper extremities, also mark tenderness and radiates in the left upper extremities. This will record your findings of referred pain to the left upper extremities. If a doctor needs to record a more detailed daily posture analysis, this can be found on the Daily Note 4 travel card form. Record additional objective findings required by marking the bubble next to the O1 and writing those findings on the form. The third area to record adjustments are the 3 columns with the individual vertebral levels and their listings. The listings marked on the 5 previously scanned Daily Note travel cards will be displayed here. 5 meaning 5 visits ago, with the listings printed below. 1 being the most recent patient visit. These numbers will also correspond to the dates at the top of the form. To record the patient's progress with care and goals of treatment, mark here. 0 means no progress. 100% means the patient has reached maximum medical improvement in that goal of treatment. This will show the last scanned travel card form in the progress section of the travel card. To record a change in the patient's plan, visit schedule, set a future reevaluation or x-ray date, mark the form in these areas. Rehab treatment can be recorded here in this section. It can be customized for any type of rehab treatment being administered in the clinic. The minutes will add together. If you mark 15 and 30, it will equal a total of 45 minutes of treatment in the note and on the travel card. To print out a special note or individualized treatment plans on the form for you to see every time the travel card is printed, simply mark either the S2 bubble, the O2 bubble, the A2 bubble, the P2 bubble, or the T2 bubbles, and write out what you want in the note section of the travel card. This information will print on the travel card until it is modified. These bubbles can also contain a pick list to save the staff keyboard entry time. Time-saving bubbles on the travel card. If the patient's subjective complaints are the same, mark here and skip to the next section. If the patient's objective findings are the same, mark here. If the vertebral levels treated and treating technique are the same, mark here. If the diagnosis is the same, mark here. If the plan is the same, mark here. If the therapies or modalities are the same, mark here. If rehab treatment is the same, mark here.
Another incredible feature of the Daily Note form is its interface with many of the practice management software programs. The form can act as a fee slip, where once it's scanned, the procedures performed are imported and posted to the patient's account with the appropriate charges assigned to that particular case. This feature also provides a system of checks and balances, where your documentation always matches your billing. When records are requested, simply select the dates of service that you need records for and generate the notes. Each Daily Note form will produce typewritten SOAP notes that are both thorough and professional. Feel free to call Document Plus toll-free to speak with a customer service representative anytime to learn more about Document Plus and how it can help you in your practice.